In this video, I'll be discussing the Vault, Epic Games' balancing tool in Fortnite Battle Royale. I will explain why the Vault is detrimental to the game's overall health and balance, but also how it can be used as a positive force for change. My name is Chan, and this is Sense Motive, where I take a deeper look at the games I love. Since its launch in late 2017, Fortnite Battle Royale has seen a lot of changes, but mostly additions. Weapons, wacky items, and vehicles have all made their way into the game at a rapid pace. As any Battle Royale player knows, adding new items isn't always a good thing, and is often referred to as diluting the loot pool. This is where the Vault comes into play. As the hottest thing on the planet right now, Epic knows it has to hold people's attention by keeping Fortnite fresh. Iterate too slowly and you're going to lose players. Iterate too quickly and you have to come up with methods to keep yourself in check. The Vault is a double-edged sword Epic wields to keep players happy with new content while keeping the loot table from bloating. It's a solution to a problem Epic created, which in turn is a solution to another problem they created, staying relevant. It's disguised as their way of balancing the game, but in reality, it's all about content. Unfortunately, however, it does create huge balancing issues, and here's why. The Vault is almost always the answer to something players dislike. If an item is too powerful, Vault. Terrible, garbage item that nobody uses, Vault. There was a thread on Reddit asking what players suggest Epic do with the 6-shooter, and the overwhelming majority of responses were to vault it. No mention of how it could be improved, just that it should be taken out. You see this attitude from Epic themselves as well. They rarely make changes to weapons or items, and when they do, it's usually to bloom or stack size. And if your argument is that some of these items are seasonal, then why is Dynamite still in the game, and why did these 6-shooters stay past Season 6? I don't expect chiller grenades to be in the game forever, but is a Tommy gun or revolver really that themed or seasonal? Added in patch 6.2 on October 24th, the 6-shooter was never updated or buffed, and was vaulted less than 2 months later with patch 7.1. For comparison, the infamous drum gun also spent 2 months on the battlefield. After a month, its damage falloff and accuracy were slightly nerfed, before finally being vaulted a month after that. All the while, players were crying out for its removal. It dominated the meta, saw one small nerf, then was killed. I could go on, but it's pretty clear the Vault is Epic's panic button, their get out of jail free card. Whether an item is total trash or unbelievably godlike, it's going in the Vault sooner or later. The only weapons I thought to have Vault immunity were the assault rifle, pistol, pump shotgun, rocket launcher, and bolt action sniper rifle. When I started writing this video, that was still the case. Patch 7.3 came along and shocked everyone with its vaulting of the basic sniper everyone knows and loves. Does this mean we could see the pump get vaulted? If people were upset they couldn't use 2 pumps, imagine no pumps at all. It's not just removing items that's a problem. The other issue the Vault creates is the addition of items. When taking items out is the norm, the pressure behind adding items is almost completely gone, so long as they aren't super buggy. It's clear very little testing or consideration goes into adding new items. When things like the Infinity Blade are added and go on to ruin a professional tournament, piss off every streamer that isn't wielding it for their YouTube highlight video, and a few days later gets vaulted after Epic apologizes for adding it, you know the bar is set super low. But the Infinity Blade is low-hanging fruit. Everyone knows it was a terrible idea, and it's been talked about to death. I'm more interested in the numerous superfluous items. I'm talking about the quad launcher, suppressed sniper rifle, scoped revolver, etc. There have been several slightly different items that either go on to replace existing items or get vaulted a season later. It seems these items have shorter and shorter lifespans too, like Epic is throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. If it doesn't stick, it's sent to the Vault. If it does stick, the closest thing before it is vaulted. The previously thought to be untouchable bolt-action sniper was vaulted after its silenced variant was introduced. So which one is staying? The scoped revolver or the scoped AR? Both use medium ammo, serve a similar role of not quite AR but also not quite sniper. With the way things are going, I don't expect both to stay in the game for much longer. The worst of these additions are usually the items though. Things like the boombox and dynamite are not only incredibly pointless, they're annoying as well. The only response they get is to vault them, which they inevitably will be, which leads me to wonder what they were added for in the first place. Well, I think we all know the answer to that question. Epic sometimes adds things to the game for themselves, not for the players. Like I said, Epic wants to stay on top. They want to stay relevant and keep players coming back. The perfect solution is to add new items and weapons, which is good enough to attract some players, but not piss off others to the point of quitting. Because in the end, we know Epic is going to send it to the vault where it belongs. One of the more interesting cases of this is the remote explosives, or C4. Epic made 5 changes to this item before finally vaulting it. Shortly after its vaulting, we were treated to the quad launcher, and later dynamite. It's curious to me why they were so insistent on making C4 work unlike other items. At what point do insanely overpowered things just get vaulted versus getting adjusted? It's really unclear at this point, but I wish there was a minimum number of adjustments made before vaulting is even an option. But that would mean Epic would actually have to make some effort to balance things before releasing them, you know, like how every other game works. And that's the final thing I want to touch on in terms of problems. The vault is unique to Fortnite. You'd think developers would catch on and implement a similar system for adding new content in their games. Yet, despite Fortnite's success, I don't think anyone but Epic is sold on the vaulting method. Sure, sometimes things are removed from games. League and Dota do it, and Blackout has done it. But giving it a name and utilizing it just to cycle items in and out is totally different than removing items that have seen multiple balance changes to make them work. Balancing things rather than outright removing them has always been the preferred method, and for good reason. Because if you constantly add and remove things with reckless abandon, nothing seems to really matter. I would be much more excited for a new item if I knew lots of effort went into its creation and getting good with it wasn't just a waste of time. So how can the vault be used for good? Recently we saw the first items make it out of the vault alive, dual pistols and the suppressed SMG. Strangely, however, they returned without any changes. So other than content cycling, why were they removed? Why was the suppressed SMG removed for the standard SMG and then back again? I think the vault is a good place for the devs to make changes to items without any pressure. Use its time away from the battlefield to really nail down an item's place and purpose on the loot table. I like the dual pistols, but I was puzzled that their return didn't include any changes. I'd like to end this video by saying I'm a big fan of Fortnite. I'm not that good of a player, but I'm very passionate about the game. I don't want to see this cycle of Epic changing, removing, and adding things that upset so many people to continue the way it has. The core gameplay and feel have really changed in the last year. I just hope in another year I'll still recognize the game I fell in love with. I'd love to hear your opinion on the vault. Is it an overall positive thing for the game? What problems do you think it brings, and how could it be fixed? Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you'll join me in another video. Leave a like, comment, and maybe hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more in-depth gaming videos. I'm Chan, and this is Sense Motive.